Whoopi Goldberg is suspended now from The View. And this is a big story because it just came out last night. But before I get into this, just wanted to remind you to like this video and to subscribe to the channel, as it does help me out here. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. So Whoopi Goldberg, as I mentioned, she's now been suspended effective immediately from The View. ABC suspended her. This is all because of the actual tweet that she had out and apologizing, but specifically because of her comments about the Holocaust and basically saying that this entire event had nothing to do with race. That was her idea behind everything. Of course, that's not true at all. That's exactly what it was. And you'd have to be an idiot and completely ignoring what Hitler was saying to basically feel that way. But the actual statement from the network said, effective immediately, I am suspending Whoopi Goldberg for 2 weeks for her wrong and hurtful comments. While Whoopi has apologized, I've asked her to take time to reflect and learn about the impact of her comments. The entire ABC News organization stands in solidarity with our Jewish colleagues, friends, and communities. And this was weird to me. Honestly, I'm surprised that they did anything to her, okay? Mainly because the far left has been going in this direction for a very long time. I mean, Ilhan Omar, all of the radical Democrats and everything have been very, very anti-Semitic in the past. So I'm very surprised that they actually did anything. However, if you're going to do something, 2 weeks is basically nothing as well. I mean, she probably took about that amount of time of being away from the network when she had COVID as well. But by the way, triple vax, of course. But you get the idea. So now she's actually being suspended for these 2 weeks. And on the face of it, I guess you could say, well, maybe that's enough. The reality is that she probably should have been fired for this, considering the weight of what she's actually saying, because of her discrediting and on a national television program basically doing nothing much about it. I mean, take into consideration, for example, that she had no problem making these comments on the air, but the apology was not on the air, right? So the people that heard it probably never saw her apology unless they're specifically following her, on Twitter. So the reason why I think that this is a big deal or isn't that they didn't do enough in this particular situation is because we have to look at Gina Carano. Many of you actually remember her. She was one of the people that starred in The Mandalorian. Well, she made a few tweets, specifically one that really got a lot of Hollywood up in arms. And this was, I think sometime last year, but she said Jews were beaten in the streets, not by Nazi soldiers, but by their neighbors, even by children. And so what she's basically talking about is this photo that she had effectively at the same time, kind of comparing Nazi Germany to the way that a lot of these mandates and mask mandates are happening right now in the United States. Because history is edited, most people today don't realize that to get to the point where Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews, the government first made their own neighbors hate them simply for being Jews. How is that any different than hating someone for their political views? And that's what she's kind of comparing all of this to. Hollywood lost their mind at this, okay? They had no idea how to comprehend any of this. They went crazy, and basically they went out and attacked her. All of Twitter went crazy. You had, I mean, this person saying she's transphobic, anti-mask, all right. I mean, these people are absolutely out of their minds that were tweeting about this stuff. And what did Disney inevitably do? They fired her from an entire job simply because she made a historically accurate, okay, because that's the key here. She made a historically accurate comparison to something that was happening in Germany and compared that to what's happening, or the beginning workings of what's happening in politics today. So an accurate assessment of what actually took place in Germany is considered as demonized in Hollywood, and yet you have an inaccurate discussion or situation with what Whoopi Goldberg's talking about, and all of a sudden she gets this little pat on the bat on the hand. That's all she gets. Don't do it again, Whoopi. You'll be fine. That's where we're at right now. This shows the hypocrisy that exists in Hollywood as far as Democrats and leftism in general. And the idea is that Whoopi Goldberg doesn't even know really what racism is. Her definition of it is, I must be able to see it and nothing else. And this whole idea that she has is completely false. It's ridiculous. And it's almost like she's just trying to paint this idea that all black people must be this victim in some way. But that's where we're at right now. You have the situation happening with Whoopi Goldberg getting suspended, but will it make a difference? No. Is she really sorry? I don't accept the apology. I don't know what would really have changed anything at this point. To me, they should have fired her if they were actually being serious about this, if they really wanted to apply this evenly across the board. And of course, even still, what they did to Gina Carano was unfounded and ridiculous, but still, you have Whoopi Goldberg out here basically able to say whatever she wants because the privilege lies not with these white people like they always like to talk about, but with liberals, black women liberals, right? They can't fire her because it's going to make the network look bad, right? They know that. So of course they're not going to fire her because she's the, diversity pick for The View. Now, somebody else on The View said that would be an interesting kind of choice to see what would actually happen there. But these people are able to do whatever they want to do, say whatever they want to say, no matter what happens, get a little slap on the wrist, and they're fine, right? Gina Carano makes legitimately accurate comparisons in history to what's happening now and gets entirely shot down, stricken from Hollywood, loses her career. That's insane to me that this is allowed right now in the United States, but here it is. So let me know in the comments, what do you think is going on with Whoopi? Should she have gotten fired? Do you think that it should have been a longer suspension? What are your thoughts on the whole idea? Let me know in the comments below. But with that being said, that's all I have for you on this video, and I'll catch you on the next one.